Hi guys! So today here I have the watercolor colored pencils and I really like to use these ones. Maybe some of you do not know what watercolor colored pencils are. So they are like they look like a regular colored pencils, but you can still use the brush and move the color around with the water. So that is something what is really nice if you sometimes want to color, let's say, a larger area in your coloring book, but you do have to notice, so you are going to use water, so in that case the coloring book should have some thicker paper, otherwise everything will bend and yeah, the paper will maybe get ruined. Just pay attention about that. But otherwise, you can really use these watercolor colored pencils to color larger areas. So you just have to put a little bit of color down. You just color like your with the regular color pencils, but then you can use the brush and really mix and move the colors around, and that is really nice. I personally actually like to make a whole drawing, so not to color something in the coloring book, but actually to do the whole drawing with the color with watercolor colored pencils, because I like to put, so I usually put let's say a heavy layer of these colored pencils, and then I mix all of that with water, and I really like how the end result looks like. But you can check that at the end of this video, because I will make a short, let's say, really quick drawing and painting. But today here, oh my god, I was talking so much and I did not even say which watercolor color pencils are we looking at. So these here are the Goldfaber. They are from Faber Castell, and maybe you have heard from Albrecht Dürer. So those ones are the, let's say, the top one. They are quite expensive, but they are so nice. So those ones, when you put them on the paper, you can really dissolve everything, the whole pigment, no lines will remain on the paper. And I do have those ones, but still I wanted to try these ones, but because these ones are much cheaper. They come, I think the biggest set is the 48 set. That is a little bit a shame, but still you can mix the colors. So you can, before you use the water, you can lay one color on top of the other, so that you can get different color when you put the water on top of it. So that is also something what is really nice with these colored pencils. And I'm here just doing the swatch. So as I said, as usual, you just put your color down just like with a regular colored pencil, and then after that you can use water to move the pigment around. And in this set there are some really nice bright colors and also darker colors. For example, this sky blue, I really like it. It looks so nice. And also the green ones, they are really nice. And yeah, which else? Yeah, I really think they have made a good choice of colors. So there are not some, maybe there are not enough of the pinkish ones, so maybe they could have put some other really nice pink color inside. Yeah, that's a shame, but still all the other colors are really nice. And these watercolor colored pencils are not light fast, so they do not have a light fast rating. So the Faber Castell says that they are light fast, so probably maybe they are not 1 star, but still there is no light fast rating on these colored pencils, not on the internet, so nowhere. So I would not rate them as light fast, but still they are really nice to use. I do have some other watercolor colored pencils which are actually even cheaper than these ones, and those other ones are my favorite ones, but I have to say I was really positively surprised with these ones. I was not expecting the colors to dissolve so nicely. As you can see here, like this purple, let's say, yeah, purple color, and also the blue ones, they almost dissolved completely. So you can still see the line where I stopped coloring with the pencil, but nevertheless the colors are so nice. Yeah, here is just a quick overview of the colors that you get. And as I mentioned, I already have some other watercolor colored pencils, and as you can see here, I have the Koh-i-noor, the Lyra, the Stettler, Faber Castell, and the Arteza. I still have to upload the review from the Arteza ones, but comparing to the Faber Castell, Albrecht Dürer, my next favorite ones would be the Koh-i-noor. But let's just see how these Goldfaber perform. Maybe they are even better, because for me it is important that I can dissolve the pigment completely, let's say it like that, because I do not like to have some lines on my paper. So if I'm coloring with colored pencils, I do not like when there is a visible line, like with the Lyra one. So you can see this exactly here on the left side beside the Faber Castell Goldfaber. We have Lyra, Rembrandt, and with those ones, I really do not like them. I did buy them. At that time I thought, because I read really nice reviews about them, I thought they will be nice, but the pigment is just not dissolving completely from the paper, and that's something I do not like. And with the Faber Castell Goldfaber, as I said already, I noticed during the swatching that the pigment dissolves really, really nice. And no matter if you put the heavy pressure, let's say heavy pressure, so on the left side I'm always using just light pressure, and on the right side I'm putting more layers, and you can see how nice this color just dissolves and moves around. It's just, well, I'm impressed, like really impressed. This is like a nice, how to say it. So they have that end brand, which is Albrecht Dürer, and then they have the cheaper one, the Goldfaber, but still they did a good job with the Goldfaber. The only thing is, as you can see here, if you've put the light pressure, so just a couple of layers, when the color dries out, you are not able to move that color around that much. So that is something, as long as the color, as long as you put the water for the first time on your color, you can dissolve it, you can move it around, do whatever you want with it, but you just have to remember, the moment it dries, you will not be able to move it around that much. With other colored pencils, where I was able to dissolve it a little bit more. I see up there also with Arteza, actually Arteza did not move at all after it dried out. So, but if you have a thicker layer, like on the right side, you can still move a little bit of the pigment around. And yeah, here I'm just showing that with the Lyra Rembrandt, you have a lot of those pigment spots which do not dissolve, but with the Goldfaber they really do, and you can move them around really nicely. But again, as I said, the moment it dries out, just be careful. You will probably not be able to move your color around that much. And here again, just one more try. I really wanted to see how much of it I can dissolve, and you see I'm working around and around and moving the color, and as you see, almost everything. So you can notice where I've put the color down, but still how well it dissolves, I'm amazed. I really like these watercolor colored pencils. So now I will just paint a really fast painting some fields and sky, just to see how these colored pencils, watercolor colored pencils, perform, let's say, in a real life, in a real drawing. And as you can see here, that's just the way how I use these colored pencils. I like to put the color down as much as I can. So if something is dark, I will put a heavy layer down. If it's light, I will put just a little bit of the colored pencil down. And that's just the way how I work. Some other people work differently. They use really only light pressure and move the color around. But what I like to put every single color that I want it to be. Like, as I said, if something is going to be light, I will put light pressure. If there is something dark, I will even put some black color. So also for the sky, as you can see here, I'm putting a heavier pressure, but I'm still using like really bright blue for the brighter places, and then darker blue for the darker places. And then I just use color then I just, sorry, I'm just saying so often color. I'm using the watercolor brush to move the pigment around and just to create a really nice, let's say, sky in this case. And also if the paper is still wet, you can use a tissue towel just to make some small clouds. And I really like this way of working. And also, if some places did not get the dark as you wanted them to be, you can still, when this color dries, you can still use your watercolor colored pencil and put another layer on top of it. Or and you can again use watercolor, but I do not prefer to use that, only in some cases, because if you put again water down and you put too much of the water, you can make some splashes. Like, you could destroy your painting. It does not have to be, but it could happen. What I noticed with these pencils is that the black is not so dark. So if you put the black on the paper and dissolve it with water, it will become more like grayish color. But what you can do, you can use your colored pencil, put it directly into the water and then onto the paper, and that way you are putting really the pigment directly to the paper, and you can get really dark colors. You can also dissolve the white colored pencil on your brush and then make like stars or something. But in my case, I did not make the sky so dark, so I was not able to make stars. But still, it was not as night of my drawing. But I just wanted to try and see if I can see the white spots on the paper, if they come through. But yeah, the white color pencils is also really opaque. These Faber Castell Goldfaber are really nice alternative to the expensive Albrecht Dürer. So if you want to try them, I would really recommend these ones. So I hope you enjoyed this review and see you next time. Bye.